matchup. Okay, so obviously what the people want to see is Caitlyn versus Paige. We're gonna do this. Who wins the matchup between Caitlyn and Paige? I already know what you're going.
Okay, let's break this down. The matchups, the debates, the perspectives. Let's get right to it.
Post about 2024 versus 2025 all rookie teams. Who wins a game to 21? Why is it 21? Why can't it just be who wins a game?
So, grab this. Candace Parker and Aliyah Boston, two true titans of the game, recently revealed a bombshell on their podcast. And it all revolves around the most heated issue in basketball right now. Caitlin Clark versus Paige Bueckers. They didn't just touch on it. They went all in, and their responses have sent shockwaves across the basketball community. Remember that they aren't just random fans ranting on Twitter. We're talking about WNBA winners, top-tier players, providing their uncensored opinions on who would win a head-to-head matchup. And believe me, what they had to say might completely change your perspective on this topic. Before we get into exactly what Candace and Aliyah said, and why it's causing so much controversy, I'd like to hear where you stand. Leave a comment right now. Are you on Team Caitlyn or Team Paige? Because I have a hunch that after you hear what these WNBA pros actually think about this matchup, you'll start second-guessing your decision.
We got 3 people. You never played Jackpot?
But you
Come on, man.
You can't just play to 21. Like, what's the problem with 21?
I want a full game. And we're going to go down the list. This is kind of tough. I'm not going to lie. Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Camila Cardoza, Rickea Jackson, Phoebish versus 2025, which is Paige Bueckers, Sonia Citron, Kiki Irifen, Dominique Malonga, and
3. You know, the magic number in pickup basketball is usually 21. That is the standard. It isn't a complete 5-on-5, 40-minute match. It is a sprint. It is about who can become heated quickly and take over in brief bursts. That's the culture of pickup basketball, and it's a format that began the entire discussion. A game of 21, first to win. No complicated plays, just sheer skill and willpower. Even if you lie, just hear me out. I believe 2024 would win that. They will probably shoot more in 2024. Okay, so let's establish the situation. Candace Parker and Aliyah Boston launched their podcast and decided to address the one subject that had been completely dominating basketball discourse for what seems like forever. Caitlin Lick versus Paige Bueckers. However, they did not toss the names out there lightly. No, they went deeper. I mean, they were breaking down individual matchups, comparing skill sets from top to bottom, and providing fully honest, expert judgments on who would win in a real game. And let me tell you, their opinions aren't just making waves. They're causing tsunami reactions throughout the basketball world. From fans, experts, and fellow players.
Though, hear me out. I low-key think 2024 would win that.
they definitely have more shooting on 2024.
The entire basis for this intense discussion stemmed from a WNBA social media post that asked a seemingly basic question. If you set the 2024 rookie class against the 2025 rookie class in a game of 21, who would win? Right away, Aliyah had a problem with the structure, querying why it was a game of 21 rather than a full-length game. Candace came in to explain that it's based on pickup culture, but Aliyah wasn't convinced. She wanted the entire 40 minutes to fully evaluate how the game would proceed. And, honestly, she makes an excellent point. A short game to 21 does not give you the full picture. You don't see how coaches adjust, how player rotations work, or how fatigue becomes a significant issue in the later stages. But let's take a look at the rosters they were scrutinizing, because this is where it becomes very interesting. The 2024 roster included Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Camila Cardoso, and Rickea Jackson, as well as a fifth athlete. The 2025 team included Paige Bueckers, Sonia Citron, Kiki Irifen, Dominique Maloney, and Wnba. On paper, both of these teams have amazing potential, but their play styles and dynamics are very different, which is what made this such an interesting argument. Candace quickly made an important observation. The 2024 class has a significant advantage in shooting. That is not just an opinion. It is an irrefutable fact. Caitlin Clark is unquestionably one of the best shooters in women's basketball history. Her range is nearly limitless, and her ability to make a shot from thin air is unparalleled. Having that weapon on your squad profoundly alters the geometry of the court. Defenses cannot sag off. They can't afford to send aggressive help because they must always respect the danger of the three-point shot, which frees up driving lanes and post-up possibilities for everyone else on the court.
Matchup. Okay, so obviously what the people want to see is Caitlyn versus Paige. We're going to do this. Who wins the matchup between Caitlyn and Paige? I already know.
Caitlyn is my girl. What? Okay, that was the energy. Because as soon as they started breaking down the individual matchups, the real debate heated up. And it all began with the one matchup that everyone, and I mean everyone, wants to see. The one that would sell out any arena in the world and smash television viewership records. Caitlin Clark versus Paige Bueckers. We're talking about probably the two most talented guards who emerged from college basketball in the last decade. Both have championship DNA. Both have large global followings and the uncommon capacity to completely dominate a game. So, who wins a one-on-one battle? Aliyah Boston did not hesitate for a second. She quickly exclaimed, "My girl Caitlyn." Now, that statement is significant for several reasons. First, Aliyah is Caitlyn's Indiana Fever teammate. She observes Caitlyn's professional abilities firsthand on a daily basis. She is aware of Caitlyn's incredible work ethic, precise preparation, and ice-cold ability to produce under duress. So this isn't simply blind fandom. This is a strong endorsement from a teammate who competes with her every day. Second, Aliyah is among the most intellectual players in the WNBA. She isn't known for doing hot takes just to garner clicks. When she believes Caitlyn will win the clash, she is providing an informed, expert opinion based on her extensive knowledge of both players' games. Candace's reaction was fascinating because you could tell she expected Aliyah to choose Caitlyn, but she didn't push back or dispute, and that silence says a lot. Candace Parker is a first-ballot Hall of Famer who has witnessed every conceivable type of skill over the last 2 decades. If she isn't forcefully denying the notion that Caitlyn beats Paige in a head-to-head match, that adds a lot of credence to that theory. But let's be completely honest here. The dispute between Caitlyn and Paige is about much more than basketball. It's a conflict of narratives, media attention, and fervent fan bases, and it reflects the very future of women's sports. These two athletes exemplify distinct paths to greatness. Caitlyn persisted in college for 4 years, steadily improving her game and rewriting the record books to become the most decorated college athlete in history. Paige, on the other hand, had to deal with severe injuries that altered her timeline. Nonetheless, she retained her top ranking as one of the most talented players in the country. Both approaches are valid, and both players are unquestionably talented. But the burning topic of who is genuinely superior head-to-head will always elicit impassioned, and often furious, replies.
And I'd actually... Yeah, Rakia. We'll do Rakia. Sonia Citron and Rakia.
I still think Rakia can win that. You think Sonia's gonna win that?
That is more of like a coin toss, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Skill set wise, they actually play very similar, but I do think system wise it's different. So we're seeing different skill sets.
That's true.
Because Rakia doesn't play in...
The player's system is everything. You put Rakia into one system and receive one result. If you put her in another position, she may appear to be a whole different player. That is a nuance here. Following the main event, they moved on to the next match on the bill. Sonia Catron versus Rakia Jackson. Candace quickly characterized this one as a coin toss, and Aliyah agreed totally. It makes sense because both players have quite similar skill sets. They are both extremely flexible wings who can score at many levels, lock down on defense, and find new ways to impact the game and contribute to victory. But this is where Candace made a pretty astute argument regarding the value of systems. She stated that we are seeing distinct versions of these players because Rakia is not playing in Sonia's system, and Sonia is not playing in Rakia's system. That is a genuinely smart method to play evaluation, because here is a crucial truth about basketball. The system in which a player operates has a significant impact on how good they appear to be. Some systems are intended to highlight a player's talents while concealing their deficiencies, and vice versa. Rakia Jackson plays for the Los Angeles Sparks in a system that may not fully utilize her strengths. Sonia Citron, on the other hand, will eventually join a WNBA team with a system that may be very different from what she's used to. To compare them directly, you must look beyond the data and consider not just their individual talents, but also how those talents would translate in a neutral setting or, more significantly, when pitted against one another. Yes, I suggested we should play a whole game. What is 21? It is simply not the same. Then came the showdown that would be a total battle in the trenches. Angel Reeve versus Kiki Irian. Candice and Aliyah agreed straight away that this would be a hell of a battle. Aliyah expressly stated that it would be an excellent matchup. You could hear genuine respect in her words for both athletes. That because Angel and Kiki play with a similar type of unbelievable physicality, persistent intensity, and a motor that never stops. Neither of them will back down from a challenge, nor will they give up a single possession. That would be a matchup of sheer effort, raw energy, and never-ending hustling. And, honestly, that could be the most entertaining fight in the entire hypothetical game. This is exactly where Aliyah returned to her earlier remark about a game of 21 not being adequate. She argued that a nasty physical matchup like Angel versus Kiki need a full game to see how it plays out. Why? Because in short pickup games up to 21, the outcome can sometimes be determined by a few fortuitous shots or a rapid hot streak. However, throughout the course of a complete 40-minute game, the better player, smarter player, and more conditioned athlete nearly always emerge victorious. So reducing this epic comparison to a fast race to 21 fails to capture the enormous complexity of these matchups. Candice made her announcement after breaking down each individual battle. She believes they will win, given their considerable shooting advantage, overall advantages, and experience. But then she made an extremely interesting observation regarding Dominique Malonov, from the she believes Dominique has a potential to be one of the best post players in WNBA history in the long run. That is quite high praise coming from someone who has competed with and against the best post players of the last 2 decades. Dominique's unique combination of size, skill, and basketball IQ is what sets her apart, according to Candice. She isn't merely a large body. She's a good player who can pass from the post and shoot with either hand. She understands placement, leverage, and angles at a high level. These are the characteristics that lead to long and successful professional careers. So, while Candice predicted that the 2024 class will win today, she is obviously aware that the 2025 class features athletes with possibly higher ceilings in the future. The conversation then took a hilarious turn when they began comparing their respective rookie groups. Candice's famed 2008 class comprised herself, Sylvia Fowles, Candice Wiggins, and Mickey Ann Osike, while Major Aliyah's 2023 class featured herself, Diamond Miller, Dorka Jewers, Jordan Hoston, and Lee Euro. Aliyah tried to be diplomatic at first, stating she always rides for her squad, but Candice pressed her, asking whether she would be telling the truth as she said the 20, to which Aliyah responded perfectly. She responded, "I would be lying, and I would hate to get up on this pod and start lying." That's the kind of refreshing candor that makes these discussions so worthwhile. She could have given a boilerplate, media-trained response about how both groups are talented, and it could go either way, but she kept it completely genuine. The 2008 class was entirely full. We're talking about many Hall of Famers, a slew of championships, and several MVPs. The 2023 class has a lot of skill, but they aren't at that legendary level yet, and they may never be. Candice did try to give Aliyah some credit, pointing out that we've seen how the 2008 careers unfolded, whereas the 2023 class is only in its second year. Jordan Heston suffered a serious injury, therefore her future is undetermined. Diamond Miller has suffered with injuries and trades that have hampered her progress. Despite these disclaimers, anyone who is objective can see the talent discrepancy between those two classes. What makes this exchange so intriguing is how it reveals how professional players evaluate skill. They are not only looking at box scores and highlight clips. They are evaluating team systems, individual matchups, physical equipment, and basketball. They are thinking about work ethic and long-term prospects. When Candice and Aliyah argue Caitlin versus Paige, they aren't just debating about who gets more points or has a better grip. They are replicating a real-world scenario in which both competitors are completely prepared and motivated, and then calculating who will win. The fact that Aliyah chose Caitlin without hesitation reveals something important. She isn't just being a helpful teammate. She is making a determined assessment based on her daily court time with Caitlin. She has witnessed how Caitlin prepares for games, dissects defenses, and delivers at crucial moments. And based on all of that first-hand evidence, she feels Caitlyn will win the match. That viewpoint is far more credible than that of a television analyst who has never played a single minute of professional basketball. But it's equally important to note that this argument occurs at all. The fact that we're enthusiastically comparing rookie classes and going down specific matches demonstrates how vibrant and fascinating women's basketball is right now. People are having these talks because they are invested. Fans care profoundly. The media is finally paying attention, and the players are responding to these discussions in insightful and entertaining ways. The Caitlyn-Paige rivalry has been the defining storyline for this generation of women's basketball. It's reminiscent of the Bird versus Magic discussions that propelled the NBA's rise in the 1980s. These aren't just excellent players. They are cultural icons who embody various styles, powers, and fan bases. And, like Bird versus Magic, this issue will probably never be conclusively settled because both players have strong claims to being the best. Candace and Aliyah's chat revealed that there are so many layers to consider in these contests. Shooting matters. Athleticism matters. Basketball IQ matters. System fit, chemistry, and experience are all important. You cannot simply look at score averages and proclaim a winner. Basketball is just too complex for a simple examination. And the finest evaluators, those who have competed at the top level, comprehend the intricacy in ways that casual viewers may not always recognize. Dominique Malonga's potential as one of the best post players in WNBA history demonstrates how these pros think long-term. They are not simply assessing who is good right now. They are projecting entire careers. They are discovering the characteristics that often contribute to long-term success. And when a player like Candace Parker says someone has that sort of potential, everyone should take notice. What's especially refreshing about this interaction is its direct honesty. Aliyah could have easily avoided taking sides between Caitlyn and Paige. She could have provided a diplomatic non-answer about how they are both wonderful. And it all depends on the day. But she did. She made a decision, and she stood by it. That is a kind of true, unfiltered content that fans crave but rarely see from professional sportsmen, who are frequently advised to avoid any and all controversy. The main point here is that these disputes are important because they generate a lot of interest in the sport. When Candace Parker and Aliyah Boston explore these topics on their podcast, they create must-see material that is shared, discussed, and argued all over social media, increasing engagement, bringing new fans into the fold, and raising the overall profile of women's basketball. So, while the dispute over rookie classes is hypothetical, it serves a much broader and more vital purpose in terms of game growth. So there you have it. Candace Parker and Aliyah Boston have officially chimed in on the big Caitlyn versus Paige controversy, and Aliyah chose Caitlyn without hesitation. Do you agree with her assessment? Or is Paige Bueckers still your favorite to win the match? Please share your ideas in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe for more in-depth looks at women's basketball material, because one thing is certain, this argument will not end anytime soon. We will see you next time.